Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi, friends. Welcome to today's warm session of MNT News Network. In every Sunday, we have conducted this session in English. So I am your host, Prashant Bhele from Dubai. Today, our subject is need of change ruling party or ruling class. Do we have to change the need ruling classes or ruling party? So in the context of this session, I am warm welcome SS Dhammy sir, National Vice President of PPI.D. SS Dhammy sir has a vast and rigorous experience of doing work through BAMSEF in Mulnivasi Bhujan Samaj. He has spent his whole life and dedicated his whole life for emancipation of this Mulnivasi Bhujan Samaj through BAMSEF. I personally know him when I was joining BAMSEF in 2014 and seen his very dedicated person and ground level worker as well as ground level worker who has worked among the different Mulnivasi Bhujan Samaj society and different state across the state. He was once honored as a BAMSEF president also for the year of 2 years. So very warm welcome, sir, for today's session. And
thank you very much.
Today's session is always questionable. Today's session topic is a always questionable topic to Mulnivasi Bhujan Samaj and always a confusing topic, confusing question for Mulnivasi Bhujan Samaj. As do we have to change the ruling parties or ruling classes? In the background, I would like to say the Baba Sahab statement when he has came from the Golmej Parishad and informed to their masses that जाओ और अपनी घरों के दीवारों पर लिख दो कि आपको इस देश की शासनकर्ता जमात बनना है. And one more statement from Baba Sahab in 1950s that political power is the master key of success. So in the context of this, sir, I would like to know from you that today's topic is need of changing ruling party or ruling class. What is the relevance of this topic in current scenario, sir? For Mulnivasi.
Okay, thank you, Prashant. And thank you, MNT News Network, for offering me this opportunity on this topic that is widely liked by the people, whether they are in the politics or not in the active politics, but everybody likes to discuss about politics, political parties, political leaders, and all that. So this topic goes from top to bottom, that is up to the a primary member of any society. Now this political this area is a very sensitive area, and it may go any side if you lose sight of the real this requirement of politics in the society. Now see the what is politics? That is first to be understood why our people, why everybody. Now politics is not just for this contesting elections, losing or winning elections, just criticizing others and praising our own organization. So it is not like that. Now politics is a very wider and wider field than just discussing about the elections. Election can be fought by an organization, political organization, by an individual without having political organization. Anybody can contest elections, but whether he may impact the results or changes or the direction, the fate, future of the people or not, that is a big question so far as politics is concerned. Now, see, the political party is an organization that must have some political agenda, objectives, this mechanism, how to achieve those objectives declared by that political party. It must have some principles, it must have some morals, it must have some these do's and do nots if they come in the political power. Now, political party has to give solutions to the problems of the people, and also an agenda for betterment of the life of the people. Whatever is today, they have to visualize a future program that may make the life of people better than today, that may make a country more stronger, more powerful, more civilized, and better than today. Sorry. So that is for a political organization. Now, when we talk of a political organization, say people come together with some objectives. People come together with some visions about the country, about the people, their problems, what should be future of our political this systems in the country, implementation of constitution. All these things are to be decided by a political organization. Say, if we talk of a political class, certainly it may not be a one party issue, it may not be a one party matter. You may come through one party, or you may come through another party. For the society, the question is whether they can be in the political power through A party or through B party or through C party, doesn't matter. So this is basic difference between the two. Political organization that comes in the power, that is political party, that is one thing which in today's this politics, people talk about the political parties, even individuals. They like the political party not because of they like to become political power class, governing class, but they like because they have some inclination to that party. That may be wrong or right, that may be useful for making future better or not, that whether it may be useful in solving their problems or not, that is immaterial to them, but because they like that political party, so support that party. Now, if we talk about political this ruling class, then that becomes a completely different question. It is not confined to a political party. It is basically a question before the society, before the people. Now we have a fractured society. See, practically, if you see the definition of society for any Indian citizen, it is the caste. Even maybe some non-Hindu religions, there also the question is of caste. So, if a caste is politically considered unit, basic unit, then that caste may prepare its political agenda to become political class, this governing class of the country. If that caste doesn't has that much power or that much strength to become political class, governing class, then it has to think of support of many other castes. Together they can come as a this bond to as a unit, a political unit, a social unit, and prepare their agenda that we should become the governing class. So that question is completely a different thing. They have to prepare the agenda, program, action plan, and definitely they must have some organization also. But it may not be one organization. There may be more than one organization. Say if we are a society and we are in majority. For example, we can take the Mulnivasi caste, the Aboriginal caste of India. They are 95%. Even if they are 90%, then definitely there may not be a single party that can adjust all these 90% people. So there may be many parties, but as a society, these 90% people as Aboriginal Indians, they can decide that as Aboriginal caste of India, we should remain in political power. Whatever be the party, you may have today 10 parties, then they may merge and they may become two parties. Then again they may break and they may divide and again they may become six parties, eight parties. So that is something a process, political process that is visible in democracy in India. We may see, and rather if you see for last 40, 50 years, many political parties were created and many were merged. So that political process is always there. So, but as a society, see, if you want to remain in political power, then it must be your political agenda, not as a political party, but as a society. So that may be today you may have hope from one party and you may they support that party and see that that party may come in power as a symbol of your society as a political power class. So that is the class question. So being a governing class is one thing, and being a political party in governance or in political power is definitely a different thing. If a political party is there in political power, it may not be a governing class of your society. You may be supporting that party because of its agenda, but definitely that political party in power may not be representing the class, a governing class of your society. So this is basic difference between the two that we have to understand. Now see that the political party in power, now we must think of its agenda, its strategy, ideology, and policies, programs, and its historical background of its leaders, that party also, how this party is formed, how those leaders in the party have evolved, what had been their ideological approach, what has been their political programs, political activities, social activities. So all these things you have to see before supporting a political party. And accordingly, if you see in today's these terms, then constitution is the only basis which should be implemented by any political party if they come in the power. Then the results will be in the direction of the object aims declared by the preamble of the Constitution. But that is not seen today. Now, what we are expecting a political class, a class in power, or we can say a governing class in the country that must implement the constitution in its letter and spirit, and absoluteness must be there in democratic principles, constitutional morality, and achievement of the very objectives, very aims declared by the preamble of the constitution. The entire mechanism of the constitution, whether it is fundamental rights, whether it is fundamental duties, whether different wings distribution of power, whether judicial role, whether role of executive, whether role of this legislature, and the role of the people as Indian citizen. So all these things are there, and they have to all work together to achieve these objectives. And that is what is the spirit of adopting the Constitution of India by the people of India. But for that, we need a governing class that is committed to the Constitution of India. So that kind of governing class is required, not political party. Political party, if today they declare that they are committed to the Constitution, but after coming to power, their behavior changes. That we have seen in present government also. We have seen what they were talking of their agenda in 2013, and what they have done in these 10 years of their governance, their period in power. Congress also deceived our people. They were also a Brahminical party. They served the interest of Brahmins more than any other caste. So is the today's political governing party. But the governing class is the same, whether it was during the rule of Congress, whether it was in the rule of Vajpayee government, or whether it is during the Narendra Modi's government. The governing class, ruling class is the same. So their economic policies are the same as were there during Congress period. Their social ideology is same. They all support casteism. They all support inequality based, birth based social system. There were these tyrannies on poor people during Congress regime also, and during this government also. So because the governing class under this party that remained the same. Now the ideology being the same, there are no difference in changing a political party. There is no use of changing the governing party, because their base fundamentals are the same. So actually, in the name of democracy, there has been this Brahmincracy in this period. So now we need this a governing class that can focus on solving the problems, resolving the issues before the country, before the people, before our majority Aboriginal Indians. So that is required. Now that is possible only if we have the Mulnivasi society as the governing class of the country. Now we may consider that if PPI.D comes in the power, definitely it will be a this picture, or it will be a political this identity as governing class of Aboriginal people of India. So, but we can't say that all the 90% people will come to PPI.D or any party. But our worry is that these 90% people must have one agenda, that they will support the politics, they will support the political agenda, they will support the political ideology that is required to make the Aboriginal Indians as the governing class of the country. Only then their problems, their issues can be addressed properly, and the Constitution of India can be implemented in its letter and spirit. The judiciary can be used. Judiciary can be asked to work to achieve the objectives of preamble of the Constitution. The executive, that is the administration, the bureaucracy, the officers, whether state cadre, state services or central services, union services or local government services, all the officers can be utilized to achieve these objectives of preamble of the Constitution. So if the Constitution friendly or political this class is committed to the Constitution and that comes in the power, only then we can hope that Constitution of India can be implemented as was visualized by the Constituent Assembly of India and as was declared repeatedly by Baba Sahib Ambedkar and some other leaders in the Constituent Assembly of India. So that is kind of class of people or governance that is required. So the governing class is not the same as the governing party. The party may not be necessarily the same governing class as expected by the Aboriginal Indians, the Aboriginal people of India, Aboriginal caste of the people. So we have to focus the people of India, the citizens of India, coming from the Aboriginal this caste of India, they must understand that their these grievances, their agenda, their ambitions, their future is safe only if they become politically governing class. They can't wait or they can't expect, they can't beg before the anti-constitutional political powers. They are actually or this factually not in the politics for the Constitution of India. They are for their class. They have their own class. They have their own ideology regarding governing class, which class should govern the country. They have their own ideology, they have their own strategy, they have their own program, they have their own principles, they have own conspiracies, they have their own politics to remain in political power as a governing class. So that we have to analyze, that we have to understand. Now these Brahmanical forces, their ideology is not to annihilate casteism. Eradication of casteism is the fundamental to see success of democracy in India. If the caste remains, if the caste feeling remains, if the caste based inequality remains, if the caste based hatred remains, it is useless or rather idiotic to say that we are having a successful democracy, or we are in a successful democracy, or we are the successful democracy in the world. That is not the case. The caste is deterring democratic processes, democratic values, democratic moralities, and is a greatest hindrance in making the country, making India the constitutional India, or the India of the agenda or the plan as the Constitution of India is having. So that is what we have to see, that these Brahminical political people, political forces as governing class, they are not serious on this eradication of casteism or social inequalities. See, the Baba Sahib has very rightly this declared in the Constituent Assembly in his last speech, that we will have political equality, but the independence that we have secured after this long and painful struggle, now it will end if we don't achieve economical equality and social equality. So merely politically being equal will not suffice in maintaining independence, maintaining independent India. So that is what Baba Sahib declared, and actually that is happening. So we have to see the political parties as this is a test for their usefulness to our people, to the aboriginal people of the country, and the country as a whole. That whether they will be really strengthening or making the country the superpower, or they will create problems, they will this earn bad name for the democracy of the country. So that is the thing that is required to be seen in the political parties, but that needs a degree of some awakening, a degree of some knowledge, a degree of some comprehension of the political power as a class. If you are a political this governing class, then people should not go for your words. They should understand, they should analyze, they should discuss about your programs, your plans, then and your behavior, your deeds while you are in politics, whatever be your length of political career, political period. So that people must analyze your political program, political agenda, values, your action plan, your political moral, and what about economical democracy, what about social democracy. So all these political, social, and economical democracies, all the three components, they must be this understood together, and that comprehension only can bring to the right approach of the people regarding the political party, political people, and what kind of governing class they want, what kind of governing class our these constitution makers they envisaged or they wanted. So that is to be seen by the people, and I think that will make the people more wise, politically more these knowledgeable people, what kind of governing class they should create, what kind of governing class they should support, what kind of governing class they should work for. So that is the governing class versus governing party. If that is understood, if that is clear in the minds of the people, then they will not talk of the political party. They will see if a particular political party comes in the power, what will be the governing class under that political party. So that must be crystal clear in the minds of the people. So that
Yes,
is
yes.
what is required to be understood from this subject in today's this era, to make the democracy successful in India.
Yeah,
Right, Prasad?
thank you, sir. As we all know that caste is still the major factor of forming parties and making parties as a ruling parties. Uh, After Baba Sahib death, except South India, where the Pera Ramaswamy has taken step and formed the under his social revolution formed the party DMK, and they rule the south. And after Bamsef, revolutionary Bamsef when came to existence and Bamsef spread all over the India, we have seen that the many OBCs and the backward communities has awakened to large extent, and we have seen that after Bamsef revolutionaries work, some Bahujan parties are came to existence like Bahujan Samaj Party, Janata Dal Party, DMK. So my question is that, sir, these all Bahujan Samaj parties, Mulnivasi Bahujan Samaj parties, whether they exist or not, but they are came from that revolutionary step of Bamsep or Pere Ramaswamy social movement. So these parties once came into the existence, and sometimes they remain for very low point of time in power, and we have seen the effect of power, effect that political power also. Uh, in spite of these all revolutions, these parties, why these parties are not came together and make themselves as a ruling party of India? Why they always have remained behind or remain in accordance with the ruling party that will be led by Brahminical forces or the Brahminical forces. So can you please elaborate and elaborate your experience and your analysis about this?
Right. As you have said, that we have many political parties among our these Mulnivasis, Bahujans, because their population is 90%. But what is their ultimate goal? And what is foundation of their politics? What is ultimate agenda, strategy, their behavior, and what is their vision about the country? What is their vision about the Mulnivasi Bahujans? What kind of society they want? And how they will contribute through politics to establish that kind of society, to establish that kind of economic system, to establish that kind of educational system, to establish many other systems. So they must have their program, they must have their action plan, they must have their vision, their ideology, and are they really sincere to that agenda or not? Now, these parties that you have referred to, they are, or the leaders running these parties, they are power hungry people. They need political power, and they have agenda confined to their own achievements, personal goal, personal their image, or what you can say, their this no personally this claiming that they are the real heroes of the Mulnivasi Bahujans. They don't have that common understanding that what kind of political governing class they want through their political party. If that agenda is there for national level political governance, then they can come together. Maybe they may have some minimum common program or like that, or they can this not shred of their identities. They can adopt some new identity with that agenda. So, but that is not there. BAMSEF is something different. BAMSEF is not a political organization. BAMSEF is awakening the Mulnivasi Bahujans on the social system or social revolution, social change agenda. That is, they are creating an identity that can organize, that can bring all these 6,000 castes together to form one caste, one society as the Mulnivasi Indian caste. And that has nothing to do with the political power agenda. Political power may be some expectations by the BAMSEF, their cadres, their supporters, their well-wishers, that there must be a class in political power that can work as catalyst in establishing a Mulnivasi Bahujan society, a Mulnivasi Bahujan caste, based on the fundamental principles of equality, fraternity, and liberty. That is a democratic society. So that may be expectations from the politicians, from political parties, by the BAMSEF, its cadres and its members, well-wishers. But if they don't come, if such political class is not there in the political power, if such political party is not there in the fray, in political fray, then BAMSEF has not to be worried about that. So far as my understanding about BAMSEF is concerned, I think that BAMSEF doesn't have anything losing or gaining in that area of a governing class. So BAMSEF will like, definitely. BAMSEF is an ideological organization. BAMSEF has its missionary agenda. BAMSEF has certain ethics. BAMSEF has morals. That is Phule Ambedkarite movement, or Periyar's movement, or whatever you have referred to. We have many our great dignitaries in the history. Maybe Sant Raidas, Kabir, Guru Narayana, and many such like Buddha, Nanak. They all fought for a social system, for a society devoid of any kind of Brahminical impact, Brahminical ideology, Brahminical thoughts, beliefs, faiths, and all that regarding social behavior of the people. They all fought for that. But Brahmins, fundamentalist Brahmins, they captured political power and they defeated all these movements. So BAMSEF has learnt from all these failures of movements of our forefathers, and it has now created a missionary network to establish a society that is of agenda as was propounded by Baba Sahib and Phule Sahib and other our forefathers. So Vamsev is not affected and should not be affected by any political change. Whether some A political party or B political party comes in the power at a state or center or not. Definitely they will be happy and they will get a strength. They will get some hassles free activities, their moves. If the political power comes in the hands of those people who support the ideology that is being that is being taken by Vamseth to the people, to the gullible masses. So that is something different area from creating a political governing class of fully Ambedkarite ideology or fully Ambedkarite movement. Yeah.
Sir, what is your suggestion for to Mulnivasi Bahujan Samaj for during selection of parties? Because of course, Mulnivasi Bahujan Samaj has to vote to some vote to parties. What is your experience and suggestions you should like to give to Mulnivasi Bahujan Samaj selection of these parties?
See, a political party, when it comes in the power, they have to work for betterment of future of the people, betterment of the country, to improve life standards, to give respect to the Constitution of India, to make the real democracy as their agenda of governance, to ensure dignity of every individual in the country, and to strengthen Constitution of India. So that is required by the people in the power. So people must examine the agenda, the historical background of the political parties, programs of the political parties, characters of the political parties, natures of the political parties, action plans of the political parties, and most important is their ideology. What kind of economy or economic system they are building, they are promising, what kind of social system. The basic ignored or left out area in political field in our country since 1936, the first elections were held during British India. Since 1936 till today, the most important factor ignored by the people is what kind of social system a political party is promising. So that is the first thing that must be considered by the people in a political party before supporting, before selecting, before favoring that political party. And then a educational system, education policy. And then what kind of this judiciary, what kind of judicial system they promise, they want. Judicial behavior of the system, judicial system, whether that is appropriate or needs some changes, that is also required to be seen. And then what is their foreign policy, whether they are really different from the earlier ruling party, ruling this alliance and like that. So what is their this program for Mulnivasi Bahujans, whether they want to divide or to organize it, whether they want to give them a homogeneous social identity, homogeneous social this system, social caste. So that is all to be seen by our people, because unless you analyze, unless you diagnose the programs, ideology, strategy, action plan of a political party, you can't come to a right conclusion to support a political party. And it is happening that people support wrong parties and that they start abusing that party. So that must not be after giving them power. It must be before giving them power, before voting in their favor or supporting in their favor. So that is all that is required to be, because the people are not that much intellectual. Only 1%, maybe 1.5%, or hardly there may be 5%. Hardly. If we can go to some extreme, then we can take it 5%, who understand what kind of governing class we need and which political party or parties and what leaders can be trusted for that kind of agenda, that kind of goal, that kind of program. So that must be first analyzed before supporting or voting a political party. So that is my message to all the Mulnivasi Bahujans of India. If they want better future for their coming generations and better India, strong India, for that purpose they have to analyze all these things before supporting and working for a political party or political organization.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah. One last question I would like to ask you: how do you see this Mulnivasi Bahujan Samaj as a ruling class of this India in future, and what is your expectation from the Mulnivasi Bahujan Samaj to be in the ruling part of the India?
I think today there is a phase where they are more trusting the religion than their material gains. They are not worried about employment, they are not worried about education, they are not worried about their social what we can say, social tyrannies or social problems, social issues, inequality, and all the evils of the social system. They are not worried about that. They are not worried about economical system. How the country is performing in their favor. Today it is a Brahminical capitalistic economic system, Brahminical capitalistic political system, political power, political forces. They are all governed by Brahminical capitalist these forces. The people have to understand it. Instead of being dominated by the religious agenda, they should not go for religious agenda for supporting a political party. The second thing is that the media, if you see today, the Indian mainstream media, that is under the control of Brahminical and capitalist forces. The entire media is propagating such forces which are not interested in implementation of Constitution of India or bringing a country or developing a country or establishing a democracy that is based on fraternity, equality, and liberty. So these media forces, they are also in the same line. They are also from the same forces, Brahminical and capitalist forces. So these things, I think that people are understanding that only some few people are working. Few means maybe some 10,000, some 5,000 people are working to prepare the society. As Baba Sahib said, politics is also a tool to prepare the society. Political organization is to prepare the society. Politics is to serve the people, to serve the country. So that is the objective of politics declared by Baba Sahib. And objective of a political party, Baba Sahib declared to serve the people. But to serve, for what the politics should be there? To solve the problems of the people. So that is being captured by the people, though slowly. So because the entire Brahminical capitalist media is concealing all those issues, those forces which are faithful to the constitution of India. They ignore talking about them. They ignore taking note of their activities. So, but people are learning, and people are being awakened, and I hope that within next 5 years time we will have a complete change. We will have some more than lakhs and lakhs of people who will work to prepare the society to that direction. So I am very much positive. I am very much optimistic on this line. Yeah,
Thank
Prasad.
you. Yeah, thank you very much. This is S.S. Dhammy sir for related us your views and your suggestions for the Mulnivasi Bhujan Samaj to be the ruling class of this country. And friends, this is S.S. Dhammy sir, a highly experienced person. He always have the great zeal of hope that once day this Mulnivasi Samaj, Bhujan Samaj will be the ruling class of this country. And the many people of like S.S. Dhammi sirs and many of people like him has working hard for making this Mulnivasi Bhujan Samaj as a ruling class of the society, and this Karwa will be continued, and we will have the next sessions with some other subject also. So I think the SS Dhambi sir has enlightened us much more about the this in this subject. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your
Thank you
views,
very much.
and thank
Thank
you
you
very
all.
much.
Thank you,
Thank you to
MNT.
all viewers and
All the
background
best
workers
wishes.
for giving their supports and making this topic as a vibrant. And thank you very much to all of you. Jai Bhim,
Okay,
Jai
wishing all the
Mulnivasi.
best to the channel and its viewers. Thank you very much. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi, Jai Bharat,
Jai Bhim, Jai
Jai
Mulnivasi.
Samvidhan.